How do we have audio? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, what an image did you send me? What was it about? I did not quite understand it. The goose had.
Let let the people tell you what happened last night. This was the image I sent OC guy. Okay, you know how OC loves a goose head, but
Yes,
Canada
I
beat
do.
the United States in hockey yesterday.
I oh look at that one by one. Nice. High five, brother. High
Fuck yeah.
five. Nice. I need to be back. I have my strawberries being floated in the kitchen. I just remember that it's been 10 minutes since I did not shut down the water. So be right back.
You're floating strawberries in the kitchen.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck? There's only one thing that floats in my household, and it's my poo sometimes. We won't go there though. Too far. Where is he going? He's going again. My God, what are we doing, OC? It's Friday, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, big rug. Did you see what happened here with the I think it's the Kabisi letter here. If we're definitely if we're taking a look at why we're dumping. I think the Kabisi letter. Kabisi letter had it. Uh it was some sort of weird. I don't know what this is, but this is what I saw. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but I think we dumped on that news. Health Group UNH drops 12% as the U.S. Department of Justice announces a civil fraud probe into the company's medical billing, and we had an Ethereum hack as well. So multiple things shaking out the market, baby, shaking out the market. So I'm not sure the timing of this. I can't. It doesn't display the time of that. UNH. Let's see if we can find it here. UNH. Obviously the S&P down. UNH. United Health Group here. Okay. This happened. Market open. Yeah. So market open. Market open. Dumperelli here. So let's see. 15. Yeah. Yeah. Opened up down big time. UNH here. Bitcoin rolling over. So if you were trading with me this morning, you would have seen that we got long off VWAP. I got out early, but that's fine. It was a good trade. A little bit rushed, but pretty good in my opinion. So uh bearish divergence up at our key sell wall here. Didn't take this trade. Didn't feel like it was for me. Okay. Let me go into a 5 minute here and make it more appealing. So got long here after the dump yesterday. Okay, so bang, bang, choo choo train. Okay, then we went into this pennant here, this big triangle, chop consolidation at a key level of support. Then we pushed up, getting everybody FOMO. Okay, FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. And this is why we don't buy tops, right? Even in here. Okay, rolling over, bang. Okay, I was able to wait, and then we had a pushback, a breakout retest. I got long here. Stop loss below the low, looking to target the highs. Okay, so stop loss here, looking to target the highs. This trade, and then I typically end my stream at 10 o'clock, so then I go and have breakfast with my family. So I got out here. No, I got out here, so I made a quick 180 bucks. I could have made like 400 if I had waited. However, it did dump, so sometimes see my family saved me even though they didn't intentionally mean to. So see? So got long this morning, 98 690 got out the 846 right in here. So quick little scalp this morning, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Got in here, waited as it pushed up. So we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and as it pushed up, right? So I got long off the pushback here. So mitigation of the high, retracement. So I got long here off VWAP, stop loss below the low, waiting, 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 waiting. Then it pushed up. I got out at equal highs here. Okay. I could have gotten out. Okay. I was saying to take this high or this order block up in here. We never got to this order block. And I cut off my stream about 10 o'clock here. So I got out there, took my money and ran. And obviously it paid out, right? I think if I had hit take profit 1 here, I would have put stop loss to entry. Okay, so I would have broken out break even. So it's actually a good close. Nonetheless, then news comes out, Ethereum scandal. Nice push here for Bitcoin now. So coming back down into our green box, bounce level, order block liquidity at the lows. Okay, very easy. Now we're pushing up above VWAP. So a nice pushback, okay? So all the FUD, look, fair value gap coming in here now. Volatile, baby, volatile. My God, look at this. Wee. So patience will prevail. Don't buy the tops. You can see this clear break, continuation here, getting overextended now, trying to hold VWAP. No trade for me. It's Friday, baby. We get away with $200 and keep the doctor away. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now, but we're at the top, right? We're at the top. Is this a sufficient enough sweep to bounce? That is the question, right? When looking at this. Okay, nice bounce out of here. Coming back, grabbing all the liquidity down in this area in here, which I think is very healthy. Okay, now it's trying to push up again. So, is the market satisfied with this structure? This is a concern, and this is a concern right here and here. If we're looking at where price, in my opinion, could return to, it could be here and here. If we're gonna go short, breakdown, retest, continuation, possible golden pocket area down in here. But we have hit that liquidity and that order block within here, which was marked out on my chart this morning. And clearly bearish divergence in here. When bearish divergence occur, typically looking to revisit to where the bearish divergence started, which we have done. So will we continue? Will we pump? I would say as long as we close above 97,000, our weekly candle will look really good. So any sort of chop within here is awesome, I think. It's bullish. If we lose that and we come back down, we're going to see a very different looking weekly candle. We're going to see a weekly candle that looks indecisive again. Okay, so we look here, our weekly candle, and we can see we have a big fat green candle, right? This would be green. Obviously, mine's purple. But if we come back down in here, you would see a very indecisive candle. Okay? Just like this one, just like this one. This one would look similar, right? We don't want indecision. We want bullish candle, right? So that means I would say at minimum closing above 97,000. Minimum. I would like to see higher for a continuation, but what I like to see and what happens is very, very, very different, my friends. So we need to be level-headed. Nice sweep of the lows. So coming back for the liquidity in the lows here, right? Continuation. Like I said, this is concerning and this is concerning. Just the way market structure looks here, right? This was concerning liquidity in the lows here, right? People getting long, coming back and sweeping them, which we just did. So for me, this is the only worrisome here. We didn't really so I would have liked to see another retest into the highs here and continuation out. And I would have liked to see a retest into the fair value gap here and continuation out. That would be perfect. If we had perfect structure, that's what this would look like. Okay? We're missing a couple of lows in here. So that's my concern. If we're going to come back down, it's going to be for these guys in here. We'll see how it goes. But looking good so far. Obviously, dumping on the fear. the hack and all that stuff, and now pushing right back to Valhalla. What are you seeing, OC?
Oh man, I'm just so happy to see Bitcoin finally moving. We're still within the same range. I mean, I'm happy. Come on, I mean, how could we? But I'm also a little bit worried. Let me show you what I got here. So this is the range where we have been, right? I mean, yeah, a little bit lows here, a little bit other highs in here, but remember that we also have been keeping track on this trend line right down here, right? Let me even, you know what, like get rid of this areas in here. All right, perfect. So at this point, we don't only have a ton of confidence at the top, but also we have not yet broken the trend, the neither the range nor the trend line. Remember that throughout this week, I was expecting it. Well, not throughout this week, the last 2 days here. I think from Wednesday. I was talking about the breakout retest on dynamic reactor. We finally got it, and then off we go. Something that I want to have before entering within a long here at these areas for a retest. If you are jumping into that long, it is your oscillator. I need to start seeing my oscillator pointing up. Let me show you how exactly. So something around or something like that. All right. I want to see that movement before I start committing for an entry because we are at previous highs. And the most probable scenario, it is reversing back down to 95,500 in my opinion, because that's where we have been seeing the support. And if you can see, Alex was talking about 96. I'm talking about 95, 700, 900. So we're around the same ballpark, depending on the time frame that we're looking at. All right. The next thing that I want to talk about, it is the sweep of the lows, right? Again, guys, you'll see this in all of my charts, right? You'll see that on all of my charts, and I think that that is still a possibility. That is a possibility. Doesn't mean that it's gonna play it out. But remember, we've been doing some altcoin trading for in case we hit these lows, where I'm gonna be inputting whatever I earn from it, from the altcoins to Bitcoin to then get with the movement. Something that I was talking about in Piper Academy today. It is. I'm not quite sure of who author mentioned this. I don't know if it was the author of The Art of War, the book. I'm not 100% sure, but let's roll with that. That he mentioned or he made a statement in where 2025, February 28th, will be the limit date for a disaster or rotation of capital in the traditional market. I was talking about this, and then, well, I saw that reference back in the time. And remember, and then today we wake up with Walmart just dumping, right? Something that I want to tell you guys, other than entertainment, it is that that rotational capital might not be as we are expecting. Like, it's not going to be a big disaster. It's not going to make everybody poor. It's not going to, bring a lawless country or world or anything like that, right? It's going to be small. It's going to be gradual, and it's going to take its time. Like, for example, we were talking about S&P 500 and Bitcoin, kind of like showing off the same standard. What is the issue here? So S&P 500, it is the 500 most profitable or best companies in the States, right? And what happens that we see Walmart crashing. But also S&P 500, if I'm not mistaken, it already have taken Bitcoin or ETF Bitcoin within its lines. So we're just seeing that rotational capital, and it's not that we're going to be seeing S&P 500 crashing, but we're going to be seeing some big columns, big supports on the S&P 500 being dropped or getting hurt as we see that rotational capital. Remember that other than this, if they start printing more money, the only way to get money into Bitcoin is to take it from somewhere else. All right. Again, I'm not saying to go buy Bitcoin. Well, go buy Bitcoin if you don't have any. All right. Not financial advice. But also, this author mentioned that after this crash, that could lead to a depression. We're going to be seeing people migrating to cryptocurrencies and to gold. All right. Why is that? Remember that Bitcoin is designed or it's intended for crisis, right? It's for financial crisis. Also remember that Bitcoin is trying to mimic S&P 500 or a store of value, all right, which could be gold, which could be S&P 500, which could be whatever. The point in here is that Bitcoin it is looking to crash when we have a crisis. Why? Because remember that Bitcoin needs to be tied to reality, right? It needs to be tied to what's happening in the world. But what is it designed to do is to sustain value or to gain back its value sooner than fiat. All right. So bear that in mind. Store value, safe haven value, it doesn't mean that it's not going to crash. It means that it's going to come back to previous levels faster than current instruments. All right. So just a little bit of food for thought. I just wanted to jump in that. And be prepared. We might start seeing some rotation of capital as we are jumping into I don't know, May and March. All right. Also remember what Alex mentions: say in May, go away. Right. Other than that, on the most immediate part, Bitcoin is at tops. I still believe that we can do the breakout retest. We already have breakout with retest. We need confirmation, but also I could be expecting that on the trend line here. And that is because our prime score has been going up. Still, we are at the tops. Remember, do not buy tops. Do not buy tops. Wait for retracements, right? Something else that I want to showcast, it is near. We've been looking at near for a long, long time.
I'll be right back.
Absolutely, brother. Take your time. Do you also have some strawberries floating in the basement? All right, I guess he does. All right. So we've been talking about this pattern, right? Which is not an Adam and Eve, but an Eve and Adam, right? So usually the Eve and Adam showcase or forwards a explosive movement. Something important it is that if you want to catch that explosive movement, be ready to long with risk. At this point, I'll be looking to maybe enter at candle close if we started breaking out, because it seems like it was a goose head till the latest candle. So that meant that we could be going farther up. Look at that, what I was expecting. Breakout, retest, and off we go. All right. Just remember, this is not financial advice, but if you're looking to break with or enter at the breakout, set your stop loss very tight. For me, I'm going to be longing at the same area, but on the retracement. We'll see how that plays out. Another one that I want to go over, it is Link. Guys, Link still on profits. We're still at the same price action that we were yesterday. Almost exactly the same gains. Why? Because we have a ton of volatility. Remember, you should have moved your stop to entry and then just waiting for the results. H-bar coming down possibly into a possible entry here. We're very close to it. It can even left us out, but I will only be trading the retracement. And finally, INA. INA, once again, we should be on profits, moving your stop to entry. Remember, we went for half an entry because our better entry was all the way down there. Be careful this weekend, guys. Try to enjoy yourself. Try to look at the charts, and also if you are in doubt, write them down and bring them on Monday. We're going to be more than happy to help you out with any of those. Something else that I talked about, I believe, once a month, it is uranium. All right. Now, and let me show you guys that I have an alert, which is uranium. Uranium ringed at 8:30 my time. Right now it's 10:27. So we had the first entry, there we go, all the way up here, then retracement back into entry points. That's why we have an alert set up. It's something that I'm looking at. It is bottoming patterns right there. We're still not out of the blue. This is not a entry just yet. Are we on support? Yes, we are on support. Let's start bringing up my indicators. There we go, previous weekly low, but I think we could even reach 25.47. So what I'm going to be doing here is going for a long position, and I'm going to be aiming at right now's price. All right. I might be opening this up. This could change a little bit. Why? Because remember, MJ, it is in charge of metals. And if you don't know, uranium, it's metal. She's going to be taking this trade as I inform her, which is going to be right after the class. And then we're going to be aiming for a secondary entry right here. So half position and half position. My stop loss is going to be at somewhere around 24.67, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to be moving that. Not even if I execute my second entry. This is not going to be a must get in scenario. All right. So just giving you guys here the setup. What I'm looking at this point, it is maybe further continuation to the downside, and then jumping back up and then hitting the zero line. Once we're hitting the zero line, we want to get out of that trade. Why? Because basically, if we go all the way down here, we confirm that we are gonna keep moving downwards for a little bit more. Why? Because we're breaking the range. Which range you might ask? Let me show it to you right here. Look at this range that we've been talking about. All right. We could be breaking it to the downside and then going up for a retracement and then continuation. So remember, that's why I'm going for half and half. So I average down, get out at the retracement, and then move my stop to entry and see how it plays out. If I see it rolling back down, I'm not going to be shorting it, but I'm going to be waiting for a further movement somewhere around 24.17. Let's add that 24.17. Or even, oh no, that's it, 24.17. Let's see if we have, yeah, look at that perfect support right there. A secondary support also. And that will be it. That will be basically it, what I got for you guys today. Be prepared, be careful, because everybody's excited. And I think that's where we start seeing volatility. And we have, especially on Bitcoin,
Danger.
yeah, with these last two candles, that we are just pump and dump on the candle, right? Other than that, Alex,
Yeah, it's
what
a
are your
shakeout.
plans? What are your plans for the weekend? Are you going to be trading? Are you looking at something maybe to play it out? Are you be just staying away?
For me right now,
Hmm.
like I said, I want us to hold above 96, right? 96, 97. That would be ideal. But the thing is we don't want Bitcoin to get acceptance into the value area, right? We don't want it to fall back into. Right now, we're literally just above the value area. Like literally, if we're looking at our chart and we look here, we take a look, right? If we are talking about, even if we go on like a 4 hour and we look at this, right? We can see that we drop below this area here. So I would say the value area should be pulled. If you're pulling a value area, you should pull it from this Monday here all the way through. Okay. So if we look at that, that would be our value area that we've been trading in for week for since February, right? Since the beginning of February. This would be like a monthly, right? We are getting acceptance back into our value area. So if we come down in here and we start closing a lot down in here, then you expect naturally to come to the middle or to the bottom of the value area. That's just basic range theory, right? Now you could like pull this from a different area. You could come into maybe the Monday prior to this. You can come to this Monday here, right? And you can pull it from here, and you can say that, hey, we got to hold above 97.5, right? So it's an interesting situation because we've consolidated within this area here. We would love to see this to hold, right? This would be our hot dog buns, right? So if we're within this area and we get acceptance, we're typically looking to come back to the middle of the range, right? So it's if this then that. The thing is if we start moving, there is, I mean, you could get up your liquidity chart, but there is shorts in here, man. I tell you, and we always like a good old squeeze, right? So Bitcoin, like this would be like dominoes, right? One bam 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 bam. It would hit like that, right? However, like I said, there's those areas below us that are still interesting to me that we could possibly still come back down for, right? So I don't think we're out of the woods yet, but there is some hopium, right? There is some hopium throughout the charts. If we look at stuff like I was looking at Superverse, I was looking at a couple of things here. Gaming had a nice little run. We were talking about that yesterday, I think. But if we go on our 4 hour and we look at some of these altcoins, okay? Is this bottoming structure? It's getting there. Okay, is this a spring? I don't know. Could we come back down one more time, spring, and then go? Absolutely. Ask Wyckoff Master over there. He's superstar. Um, however, we are starting to push out, right? I gave a setup on virtual. Virtual. I mean, beaten up so bad, but we have that that big last liquidity sweep breakout retest perfect trade in here, right? So that's up, right? We also talked about Tia. Tia was another one, right? Tia breakout retest continuation. Okay. So some of these, not all of them, but some of these are looking juicy, right? Injective had some bullish news. For me, it's about breaking structure. So we need V-shaped recovery, mitigation of the highs, continuation. So we look for retest of previous highs, continuation back to our big level of support, right? You can see every one of these altcoins has this one, they all have this one spot. Every altcoin has that one spot where it was holding, and then we had, everybody calling their mom saying, "Can you lend me $20? I need to go to work today to go to McDonald's because everything's dead." Right? So everybody had every altcoin. You flip through this near, okay? You can see near had that critical support line. Just the same here, trying to get above, back into it, right? Arbitrum, trying to get above, back into it. Okay, they're all trying, right? So we'll see if it does want to work out. Some of these are pushing better than others. Virtual's obviously a nice push. Celestia with a nice push. I think Pendle had a nice push. Yeah, so there's hope. Inverse head and shoulders in here, right? There's hope. What we don't want to do, and like OC is saying, is that when everybody is starting to shift, we don't want to just shift, okay? We want to wait for, like I just showed you, we want everybody to shift and we want them all to buy because they're going to do it, okay? They're all going to buy. And we go over to something like injective, right? So everybody here, they've shifted and they're buying. Buy, 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 buy. Guess what? The market maker is just going to be like, okay, thank you for my money. Then we buy and we win, okay? So we want to wait for pullbacks. We want to wait for retests. We want to wait for confirmation. Okay, we don't need to catch this thing down here. We would prefer to catch this thing right here. Stop loss invalidation point, continuation up. That's if this and that. If we're trying to catch these, we're going to end up catching one of these, where you're catching one of these right here and you're destroyed. We want to catch this, right? And up we go. Easy. Money, take profit, stopped out. Money, right? We catch this. We'd still be in this trade. Money, right? Confirmation. Okay, so if this then that, being very I would be picky right now. Okay, there's things that are moving, but it's if you're gonna get in, remember volatility. Look at the sweep today. Like the sweep on Bitcoin should say it all, right? If you're looking at Bitcoin right now, right? If you're looking for this continuation trade kind of deal in here, you need to know that this thing in a matter of 15 minutes, it went from here to here. 15 minutes, less than that. Okay, probably 5 minutes. How quick was this? This was 1 5-minute candle. Bang. So less than 10 minutes, it's down here, 1.5%. So if you're not using one of these, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble. Now, there is some hopium throughout the market that we should share, but the dollar is breaking down. Our next level of area to get to is 106. So think about psychological levels. We got 107. We broke that 107. We retested that area. We've broken down from there. Okay, so there's some hopium. The dollar going down is good, because a weaker dollar is easier to borrow off of, especially for like China and stuff like that. So right now, I mean, my Canadian dollar is at 68 cents American. It's who the hell wants to buy my Canadian dollar, right? It hurts trade. And then there's the tariffs and all that stuff. So a weaker dollar eventually leads to cheaper and more risk on for assets, right? Less dollars, more assets. Think about it that way. You can also look at USDT dominance that way as well. Okay, so if you're going on USDT dominance, you got a bull flag here, but it is heading downwards, right? So we do want to see this roll over from here and come back within this range here. Less dollars, more assets, right? Same kind of deal. So there is hopium, but the thought pattern in this is if we are trading this on a higher term time frame, we are at the top of the range and we should be looking for it to come down. Okay, come down. Now I have all the key levels and stuff like that I can share with you guys if you want, that I'm looking for to be tapped. I will share them with you, and we'll see where it goes. But big order block in here. Okay, we got a nice big order block in here and the high in here. So this is the next high. I didn't talk too much about market structure either on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin 2, which is really good, is that we have, my friend, we have taken this high. Okay. Which is bullish. Okay. Which is bullish. A nice change in structure. Okay. So we have our market structure tool here. Where is it? Oh, Madonna. Here we go. Hasn't changed on the 4 hour. I guess they want a candle close above here. But if we go into maybe a 2 hour, probably changing character here. Let it load. Come on, you can do it, baby. It doesn't like me today. That's okay. Maybe 1 hour. There it is. See? You got to be able to see that too, right? You guys got to be able to see where that happens. Do you understand market structure? Let me know in the chat. Right? Internal change in character, continuation to the upside, right? So look at this big ass change in character in here, baby. This is bullish. What this suggests, okay, if we're really looking at what this suggests, the break here suggests that even if we go down here, as long as we don't take this low, I should be looking to long it past here. Okay? I can favor a retest continuation, a retracement continuation. I'm not trying to short this below here. If I'm shorting this, it's above here. This is all fair game. Typically, this is why Fibonacci's work really well. Typically, you're looking for a retracement into here, golden pocket. But look what we just got. Oh, see? A 382. And what does a 382 mean? It's aggressive trend, okay? A 382 bounce is an aggressive trend. Meaning, if it's going to go, if it's going to pop, right? If we're looking at structure on the way up. Okay, did that on purpose. We're looking for a retracement, right? Swing high to swing low, golden pocket, 786 bounce level. So that's a full retracement. But if we're going from swing low to swing high and we get a 382, this is a much more aggressive, much more violent move to the upside that follows it. You see this in aggressive uptrends? I can show you examples if you would like. But you go into here, and it works the same way going down. So here's an aggressive uptrend. I'm sure we can find one in here. Swing low to swing high. Didn't come to 382. Okay, that one didn't work. This one didn't work. And we keep going. Here's a 618. That's a 618. I can see them now because I've traded them so many times. There it is. Right? That's the 382 right there. So coming downwards, coming down here. So we're looking for this thing to bounce off the 382. There it is, right? So you got your 382 aggressive continuation coming down, bouncing up, 382 continuation. Same way on the way down here, right? Coming down, bouncing up. That was a 618, right? So we're looking for that. Will we get it? We've got a 382 bounce so far, right? We got a full 382 bounce. So will we aggressively push out here? Let me ask you this, OC. Do you think this looks like a sufficient top? Does this look like a top to you?
Sort of, but not really.
Maybe this, right? Maybe we're looking at this
Yeah.
for the breakdown, but this is pretty shit in my opinion.
I mean, we
I
have
would
a
love to
lower
see this
exactly. Yeah,
and then down.
I
We do have
think
the
so.
lower high now, but I would like to see at least one more and then
Yeah, dead
down.
cat bounce or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Oh, and talking about sentiment, and I mean, everybody's just freaking bullish. Look at that. Bitcoin pumps, everything freakishly pumps. There we go. Yeah,
Crazy.
crazy. I know.
Yeah,
Uh,
it switched so fast, right?
yeah, within hours. I mean, let's take a look at a couple of things in here. Remember that I use this as a indicator. Why? Because this talks about sentiment, immediate sentiment. And if you can see GTO, ENA, Virtuals, IP, MA Car Maker, despite they could be good projects, they're still trending projects. And what happens with trending projects? They usually are degen projects, all right? Well, not bad projects, just new users that want to get the use out of it, right? The easy money. That's where they allocate its investments, if you will. So let's take a look at what we can do there. I expect a lower at 786 and fair value gap on 1 hour 94,640. 94,000. Oh, but like, oh, you expect? Oh, absolutely. In fact, well, I don't know if 94 could be. I mean, it's in line within the gap
That
that
would
we're
be
looking at.
back down to the lows. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty low.
it is. So let's take a look at here on IP, for example, the biggest one. Something important we need to understand is to take a look at if we can trade this, right? How do we know if we can trade it? Well, then, if you can trade it on, I don't know, for example, right here, Mexi, Bybit, KuCoin, right, BitGate, I would say that it's pretty safe, quotation, safe to trade because you don't need the address of MetaMask or anything like that. That will be just a disaster sometimes. All right. So IP, there we go. Look at that beautiful movement. I mean, of course, but also that beautiful retracement. This itty bitty tiny part, because of the low market cap, this is making the daily pump. But I mean, in the 30 minutes, let's go to the 6 hours. Look at that pump and dump. All right, so pump and dump, almost at the launch. So be careful with this one. For example, I will not be trading this. Let's go and visit something else. For example, JTO. I think JTO is old enough in virtuals too. So let's go for those. JTO. In fact, we do trade this. Here it is. And almost the same scamming movement. Something interesting about around this is that we are still having higher lows here. So we most probably are making a flag or a one of Alex Crypto's favorite pattern, which is symmetrical triangles. He lives and dies for triangles, right? He's just smiling. All right, just like I
I'm
live and
actually
die
like
for Ethereum.
my strongest math was always trigonometry. Like I'm good at trig. Like, however, symmetrical triangles can fuck right off.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And even though, I mean, they're 50-50. So, dude, Like when I started learning triangles and trading, I was like, all right, so then what the fuck do we learn from them if there's 50-50, right? So we just better don't even look at them. But then,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, but then
Breakout retest.
markets,
You know?
exactly. Market structure is what we're looking for, right? So whatever happens, breakout retest, exactly, going down, or where's that tool again? Man, what is not here? Oh shit. Oh, here it is. Or breakout retest, and off we go. All right. So since we've been going high and then low, well, look at your oscillator right here. We're on the 30 minutes. Let's go. Well, we need to see on 30 minutes. I don't think that we can trade this in 4 hours. Finally, let's basically just wait for market structure. At this point, I think we're gonna be hitting the top and then rejecting one more time, maybe doing breakout retest to the downside. But again, I think will be a good opportunity to start looking how it moves for tomorrow. I don't think quite now yet because of Bitcoin movement, but I think we can start positioning ourselves based on market structure. All right, so that's why basically what we're looking at. Let's wrap it up with virtual here. Oh, I did already had virtuals. No,
What a
virtuals.
trade setup.
What?
I gave a virtual trade setup.
Oh, nice. Virtuals, we were also talking about it. Look at that. We should be on gains at this point.
Weren't we
It
talking about
wasn't
it
on
last
daily. It
night?
wasn't a 4 hour.
Yesterday?
What is it?
Breakout. I said last night during chart hackers.
You set
Virtual
it
trade
up.
setup.
I was tracking on this one, which we were a little bit underwater from last week.
Hmm.
You yesterday mentioned it. So at
Beautiful.
this point, yeah, beautiful. At this point, remember that we are below, and this is what I mentioned also. I believe, did I did this yesterday? Not quite sure, but I mentioned that we could be going at the bottom of this triangle for then a retracement here. We already have the flip of the ribbon. Take profits if you haven't. Also, look at that absorption on that week. Basically, is where people are selling on the week, and you can see a big wick like that. That usually indicates a little bit of a retracement or a pivot point. We're at the top, maybe flipping back down. Could transform. It's too early to say it, but could transform into a goose head, and that could mean further movement to the upside, which is what I could be expecting for the weekend. Let me also update that because I do remember that. There we go. Yep, we have a new order block building up there. So that's what I got so far. Try to use bubbles, or better yet, by the way, I think that's a better strategy. I use Alexo Crypto's volatility charts. Both together might give you an idea on what it's moving. And remember, I use the bubbles as a counter indicator. So I'm trying to see which bubbles I want to pop, right? To the other side. For example, MNT. Yeah, could be tradable. I don't see Binance there, but fine. And we could be looking for a possible long if the market structure is there. Let's just wrap it up with that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was what? MNT. Come on, where are you? Whatever, let's just overwrite this one. Here it is. And we have a sweep of the lows. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be going for it. It's a little bit dangerous here. I would like to have a little more structure. Are we on support areas? Absolutely. And maybe if you before I start opening my mouth here, let me start looking at, yeah, we are rejecting for a big support, but also we have a big order block right down there. So yeah, we could maybe start looking for a possible lower here. Set your stop loss very tight because also we could be breaking the range to the downside. So we don't want to get trapped in here. Again, guys, this will be a falling knife catch. So do not recommend doing this. But what we could be looking for, it is just like in here, the pullback, just like in here, the pullback, right? So if you jump into with this trade, if it goes back down in this area, as soon as it pulls back up, move your stop to entry, take early profits, and then let it run. But this is a falling knife trade, guys. So be warned and be very careful. Let me try it back to you, Alex, in case you have anything to show. If not, let's wrap it up the class.
It's Friday, baby. It's
Let's.
Friday. Uh, you know, that's it. Touch grass, spend time with your family. Know that you don't always have to be in a trade. If you do want to be in a trade, be safe about it. Understand there's a shit ton of FUD out there. So stick close, follow your rules, use good risk management, and we will see you guys Monday. It's been a good one. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully we chop sideways and up for the weekend. We'll see
Oh,
how it goes.
yes, please. Yes, please. Guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys this time on Monday.